This is Andre Banks coming to you from Banks Credit Chat, discussing the three most overlooked, or really I should say undervalued aspects of your credit score and why you need to pay more attention to it and why it's extremely important. The first is your history and mix of your credit cards, or I should say history and mix of your credit itself. And what you need to have here is that many people kind of focus on just having revolving debt, meaning they have a bunch of different credit cards from different stores or maybe a airline or two, or even a universal credit card, but they don't have enough of installment loans. And what I mean by installment debt is maybe a student loan that has something that has a set payment each month, roughly. And that could be anywhere from a student loan, home mortgages are very good, a car payment. Those installment loans need to be part of that history as mix. You need to have a mix of revolving, which is, typically they're done with credit cards because they change in terms of score slightly. They change in terms of monthly payment slightly each month. And then you have installments, which, they are a fixed amount each month that you usually have to pay for. So focusing on that history is extremely important. The second aspect that's most undervalued and overlooked is the length of your credit history. How long have you had those debt obligations? Have you established a good pattern that lenders can see? And we're talking about here anywhere from 1 to 2 years is not going to cut it. You should strive to keep credit cards for 5, 10 years. Even if it's I hate to say this, even if it's a bad one that has if you had a bad one that you got started with, just say you had the credit troubles in the past, so you might have had to start with one that has a really high interest rate, but you've had it for a long time. Even if you're paying that annual fee each year, it may be worth it just to establish a longer credit history. It shows that you're setting a good pattern and you can be relied on, and they can see a history going forward for that. So focusing on that history, the longer the better, is an extremely important aspect that many people really just don't pay attention to and is kind of really overlooked. Finally is hard inquiries. And that's number 3. Really, for hard inquiries, you should really minimize them and keep them down to one to possibly 2 every 24 months. Now, I'm a stickler for this and that point. I'm even going as far as that you should really limit them to maybe 1 or 2 every 36 months. But to be fair, 1 to 2 or possibly 3 every 24 months is a pretty good standard. But for me, 1 to 2 every 36 months, even focus is better. So focusing those 3 different areas, they're most overlooked and undervalued, and it can really help your credit score. I'm going to repeat them quickly again. Focus on your history and mix of your credit card, credit itself, and that's having a mix of revolving debt and installment. Secondly, work on those hard inquiries, keep them down, keep them low, keep them minimum as possible, 1 to 2 every 24 months to 36 months, and having established a long credit history. It's extremely important to do that. 5, 10 years, even longer. That shows a good pattern and shows that gives you lenders to give a good thumbs up and say, hey, this guy or gal is showing himself to be responsible and handle this, and they have good credit risk. So if this video has been any value to you, please subscribe, leave some comments, hit the like button, share this video. Until my next video for Banks Credit Chat, I'm out.